Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hear Me Out Pitch, or welcome back if you're returning. I'm Tim,
And I'm Willem.
and
It's been a week. It's Wednesday, and it's been... Poor Tim got stuck at In-N-Out, apparently, so...
yeah. I don't know
Just
if they're
go
training
inside.
people, or if they're just, I don't know.
My philosophy is... with fast food restaurants nowadays is it's ironic because the drive-through line takes far longer than lobby. Sometimes with some restaurants. Apollo Burger, I usually go around. Or like any of those chain restaurants. But In-N-Out nowadays, I just go inside. And yes, I know the parking lot was crowded, but I will go park in another facility and walk over. So, jeez. Anyway, this episode today is sponsored by...
I wish we were sponsored.
Someday. I mean, we did get a message from Zaxby's. I'm just kidding. That would be nuts.
That would be nuts.
I did make a short about Zaxby's. Zaxby's, I hope you heard that.
Bring one closer to Bountiful, please. Anyway, we're gonna switch it up on you guys.
Yeah,
This is gonna be a different episode. Something I don't think we've done this before.
we've talked about stuff, but here's
Not
kind
the way
of.
that we're going.
You're right. We had that one with Zach. We talked about movies in the future briefly, like what we'd want to
that's
see.
true. What we were anticipating.
And I'm okay doing that, but I honestly was like, I was ready to hit you with Spider-Man 3 today. Or at least, Tim, I want you to help me. Because but here's okay, I'll tell you guys this we're kind of, maybe you'll be part of a little planning session right now with us, because I think I'm going to do 6 movies. Because
That's a lot of Spider-Man.
it is, but I think it would be iconic because the title, and spoilers for the title of the 6th movie, it would simply be Spider-Man 6 Sinister, and that's it. Because it's the Sinister 6.
Okay.
But I think I want to give us a series that I feel like we weren't, as Spider-Man fans, we've been shorthanded in many ways. Like, of course, there's been some service, but Toby's was cut short. Andrew's was cut short. And Tom's, it's not bad, but it's just riding on the success of the MCU.
It's riding on the coattails of everything that's come before.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I did enjoy Homecoming. I did enjoy No Way Home. But
Yeah. It was good. It was good in all the things, but when you take a good step back and look at No Way Home, it's like because of what's happened in the MCU, it's hard for me to watch that movie because I have no idea what's happening with Spider-Man. I have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. And now Sony is... so it turns out Sony always had the ability to use Spider-Man in their movies. So, it drives me nuts because we could have had... And the take I'm going with, I just love it. I think I like it, and it's a personal and I think it's going to fulfill the itch I wanted with the Venom and Carnage movies, because, oh my gosh, I definitely need to go see the 3rd one. Maybe Tim and I will have a Venom movie night, and we'll talk about that.
Watch the other ones first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to watch all 3.
Venom was a character that I loved. I loved Venom as the bad guy in Spider-Man 3. But I never really...
It's difficult.
Yeah, I never really could get myself to care enough to watch Venom.
The first one surprised me because of how bad the reviews were. I watched it, I was like, this was actually fun. But it just... I'm sick of the alien. I know he originally was an alien, and I definitely will tell everyone now, whoever's read the Ultimate Comics, and I know many people did not like their take on Venom, and it wasn't that good. It really wasn't. I like the idea of what they did with Richard and Eddie Brock's father. So you know what? I don't know. I'm pretty excited for what I was going with it. I'd at least paint you a picture, but if you want, we can wait. We could wait another week and do that. And maybe it'll give you guys time to go re-listen to our hour. So the first part of my Spider-Man movie is an hour. And I have a segment of me apologizing for how short the episode was. And then the second part is an hour and a half. And we didn't talk around that much. I listened to it today before you came here. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a long one. And Tim was just letting me go off. I had a few distractions. Like we talked about Felicia Hardy's actress for a few seconds. But yeah. So, but I'm definitely, I've got some things cooking. So you know what? No, we'll wait another time and we will kind of keep this energy we're talking about with Marvel movies, because we're going to talk about the Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World. And
then
the Fantastic Four. That's kind of what I'm thinking of.
There's
another one.
Blade is TBD.
Yep.
It's TBD.
Last time I heard is completely just gone. Okay. Like done. So
Spider-Verse is also TBD.
Yeah. So I was really just thinking about those three. Just the Brave New World and really I want to talk about Brave New World and Thunderbolts, because I feel like have you ever read, for anyone who's read I love the type of books where it's a series and it's two series and they interact with each other. Have you ever read a book series like that?
It's the Cosmere.
Yes, you're right. Wow. Okay.
That's just the Cosmere.
Okay, but I have read a book series that you can read them. You could read one series and read the other, but the author comes out and says, "Hey, read this one, read that one, read this one, read that one, read this one, read that one, read this one, read that one."
I mean, the Ender's Game and Ender's Shadow are happening simultaneously. They're just two different perspectives.
Ooh. So yeah. So different. So I kind of think that is how. I know they're not going to do this, but I think that's how Brave New World and Thunderbolt should be, because the Thunderbolts are named after Thunderbolt Ross, who is now Harrison Ford, who's going to be the Red Hulk. I'm assuming you watched the trailers.
Nope.
Kim, I gave you homework.
I watched the first one when it first came out. With you. And that was forever ago.
Jeez.
I remember nothing about it. I've seen the, what is it, the Tide commercial that's got the Brave New World stuff, but that's it.
There's a Tide ad?
Yes.
That's funny. It's funny. They should have done it with Thunder.
Red Hulk, Hulk smash, throws dirt and mud everywhere all over people watching, and they're like, okay, cool,
yeah, I saw that.
What are we going to do about this?
See, they should have done it with Thunderbolts, because the guy who plays the Red Guardian is the guy who did the Tide ad, David Harbour. He did all those Tide ads where it was like in the Super Bowl, and it would be like, here is a beautiful necklace, and then he looks at the camera, no, it's Tide ad, and then all of a sudden it'd be like an action movie. You think this is an action movie? No, it's a Tide ad. So yeah, it was just funny, and it would have been funny if they were doing a Thunderbolts commercial and Alexi's uniform gets ruined and he goes, Tide ad, and he keeps going, in his Russian accent. That would have been awesome. Oh, but that's one of the biggest things I would want, is the Thunderbolts is going to pick up right where I would hope the Thunderbolts pick up, right at the assassination attempt. I am terrified because they're going to have Sentry, and Sentry is another, dare I say, Superman type for Marvel. And I'm just nervous about it. I don't know. I really hope that we can get redemption for Taskmaster. I don't care that they gender swapped her, because honestly, if I walked up to 10 people and asked them who Taskmaster was, I guarantee most people would be like, who? Like, what's his main power? What does he do? Do you know what Taskmaster does?
Nope.
There you go.
I know he exists.
Yep. Taskmaster is able to watch a person and mimic them. So in the Black Widow movie, Taskmaster would watch footage of all of our heroes from recordings, and she would mimic them. She would land like Spider-Man. She'd shoot an arrow like Hawkeye. It was, I think, very cool. So that's kind of my big beef. I know you're not the biggest of Marvel fans like I am, but
Not with their recent stuff. Old Marvel, you know,
Captain America's your favorite one.
Captain America, the first Avenger. That is my favorite Marvel movie. It's my favorite superhero movie.
So do you like Bucky?
Yes.
Did you like the Winter Soldier? So what do you want to see? What do you hope? Did you watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier show?
I know.
Oh,
I can't do the TV shows. I can't.
I know.
I start them and then I can't keep going. It's just
Tim, 5 minutes in. I thought
it's just too much. I want a movie, maybe 2 or 3, but a movie that I can sit down for 2.5 hours at the most. Sit down, have my bucket of popcorn, shovel it in my mouth, be done with it by the time the first quarter of the movie's over, and then the movie's over and I don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, you're right.
I'm sick of these TV shows.
We were excited for them during COVID, but
well, because I think during COVID it was because we were just getting a lot. We were getting a lot of content. Like we were getting like 6 to 7 hours.
Did you watch
stuff.
Loki?
No, I mean, I know it happens.
Okay.
I know. Yeah. I know enough about the Loki series that, yes, I do know what happens.
Okay.
I couldn't say the same about WandaVision. I couldn't.
I thought it was
I watched the first
intriguing.
3 episodes, and I just couldn't. I couldn't keep going.
It's good after the 3 episodes because then everything starts to crumble apart.
But
it should. You're right. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't take 3 episodes to build up.
I shouldn't be left at the 3rd episode and be like, why am I still watching this? I should be left after the 3rd episode. Mando season 1 is a good example of done right. I feel like Mando season 1, there was a new adventure, something new and exciting was happening every episode.
That's what an episode is supposed to be. Phineas and Ferb. Could you imagine that 3 episodes were one like storyline? Basically, could you imagine?
I mean, that'd be kind of cool, but
hypocrite.
I don't know. They do have a couple episodes. Phineas and Ferb is different because it's 22 minutes.
Well,
per
yeah,
episode,
but what I mean
is, as opposed to, an hour per episode.
Yeah.
And Phineas and Ferb is also broken up in half, so realistically, every episode is 11 minutes.
But yet, they still give us a full story in 11 minutes.
Well, and there are episodes like they've got their Star Wars episodes and their Marvel episodes and some of their other fun big ones, Night of the Living Pharmacist, stuff like that, where it is 2 full episodes, not just 2 parts.
Tim has watched a lot of Phineas and Ferb.
Zach, I'm looking at you. Yes, we have
a lot.
It was our background show while we were playing games or hanging out or whatever. We'd be playing Minecraft or Halo or Fortnite or whatever we're playing, and he'd have Phineas and Ferb running on a side screen.
That's awesome.
Just as white noise, something, when we've got a little bit of a break, we can just watch it.
So that's what.
But anyway,
that's what I liked about the Daredevil shows before they got in Netflix. It was because a cliffhanger is okay if you've told a whole story. If you've had a build-up. That's why Infinity Wars is probably one of the best.
Infinity War was crazy.
One of the best Marvel movies.
It was crazy.
We top 3 still.
We hit hour 3, the end of hour 3, and we lost.
We lost. The audience felt that.
And then
Thanos will return. And you're like,
I watched it like day 2. I was lucky enough to avoid spoilers and stuff, and watched it day 2 in theaters. Everyone in the theater was like, "No freaking way are we getting."
Oh my gosh!
One.
Were you a senior in high school?
I think so.
2019.
Yes.
Oh.
I graduated 2019.
Oh my gosh! I was in college.
That was Endgame.
That was. Yeah, because the next year, wow, can you realize you missed COVID by 1 year, Tim?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, my brother had to deal with COVID. But anyway, another show that did it well is Doctor Who. Like every episode is a new adventure. It's brand new adventure, brand new story, same characters that you're familiar with, and there are big storylines that drive the show. The whole River Song side story that spans like 6 seasons or whatever it is. Every time she shows up, it's going to be a good episode. Every time, we've got the Doctor saying what at the end of the episode, it's going to be crazy. Every time that we get some big lore drop about the Time Lords, it's big, and it pushes the story forward in a way that leaves you wanting more. Clone Wars is another good example. The animated series. Every episode, like we've watched episodes 1 through 6, right? We grew up watching the prequels and the originals, and some of us grew up with the original animated Clone Wars show, and watching that and being able to see, okay, so this battle leads into this. These characters are important because of this. General Grievous is doing this, and that's going to lead to this. It all builds on itself, and I feel like that's something we're lacking with the more recent Marvel TV shows. It's the first several episodes. Yeah, it's world building, but we already know these characters. We already met Wanda. We already know who Vision is. Like, one episode to establish that it's a TV show is enough. I don't need 4 or 5 episodes showing that Wanda's living in a simulation that she created.
But the twist and the little tiny things that I liked WandaVision. Mm-hmm. But it does seem like Marvel was just trying to bite off more they can chew, and now they are throwing up in their bed. Like, it's just, that's a polite way to say it.
And we have to deal with that.
And we have to deal with it. Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
And
I'm not saying that the writers are not doing a good job. They are. I'm just saying I think they need to go over everything with a better fine-toothed comb that doesn't have several of the little pieces missing, of the teeth missing,
or at least don't
go over it more than once.
Yeah, go over it more than once. Really ask yourself because apparently spoilers for WandaVision, they reprogram Vision's body. Mm-hmm. They replace the stone, and he's completely white with blue.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen clips and stuff.
Yeah, apparently he's finally going to come back. But to me, it would have been amazing for the cliffhanger, for when he's sitting. I just imagine that Vision. I really hope it does happen. So this episode could be talking about stuff we really want to see in the Marvel Universe, because I would want this Vision to look at the camera at the end of one episode, not really looking at the camera, but we just see red overcome his eyes. And it's Ultron. Because it's a body that Ultron is Vision's father in the MCU. He was making that body, and Ultron is a part of it. And you really think that if they brought that body back to life and there was no Soul Stone, there was no embodiment of Jarvis in it, you really think that any little bit of Ultron is gonna stay dormant? No. It's gonna take over. And Vision could be one of the next big things. Taking a punch from Captain Marvel and catching Oathbringer would be amazing.
Oathbringer?
Thor's
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker, sorry.
Oathbringer is a sword.
What's Oathbringer? Ah.
And you call yourself a Sanderson follower?
I love Marvel and I love Brandon Sanderson. And okay, hold on. They're both pretty cool swords. I mean, weapons, and they're both almost, alive. So.
Yeah. I mean, the one is alive. The other has a sort of sentience, I guess.
I don't know. I was so annoyed with that sentience. If you want to know how me and Tim would do Thor: Love and Thunder differently, go check out episodes 3 and 4.
No, I think it's 2 and 3.
I think it is 2 and 3.
Because episode 1 was
Buzz Lightyear. And then 2 and 3 was... I think, our take on
Love
Thor's.
and Thunder.
Which we yammered a lot.
4 and 5, you should definitely go watch.
Tim, people do. I know. I get pings on it. Like... People there was someone listened to it yesterday.
My buddy Jonathan, thanks by the way. He messaged me.
He did.
Hey, I started it.
Dude, that's awesome. But yeah, it's
good.
funny. So I know people. It's actually Tim's Star Wars episodes are our top episodes. So according to Spotify, I lost our old way of tracking because before it was I don't even remember. I think it's always been yours. So. But yeah, that's definitely what I just need them to really. Ooh, okay.
I think they need to listen to the fan base a little more.
I just need a good, solid fan to do it.
Agreed.
I
think, and here's my thing again with. I'm gonna use Star Wars as an example. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. We need someone who cares about Star Wars more than the cash she's sticking in her pocket. And
we need Star Wars fans who genuinely love the characters
and who know the stories, who know what would happen, who know what each character would do, and
it's okay to make new characters.
Yeah,
but if you can match them, because to me, honestly, who was the face of Star Wars for almost a good chunk of COVID? Mando. He took over. It wasn't people like, oh, it was Baby Yoda. No,
it was Mando.
It was Mando. That face was anytime you said a bounty hunter or honestly, you say Mandalorian now. Most people now think of It's sad. He replaced Boba Fett, and
I think you say Mandalorian, and I think Duchess Satine in the Clone Wars.
Get out.
But that's
she's dead. Get out.
I know.
That's the one Obi-Wan fell in love with, right?
Yes.
That's Bo-Katan's sister.
Yes.
I know some stuff.
He knows enough. For not having watched the shows, he knows enough.
But I will always love ooh. Okay. Random, keeping with Star Wars though, and someone writing a new show and making new continuity. Mm-hmm. How did that Luke Skywalker scene in Mando season 2 feel to a big Luke fan?
It felt epic because that was the Luke we expected.
And how was the old man Luke?
Not my Luke.
I know.
Not my Luke.
Nope.
No, and man, here's the thing: when you are taking a series, or you're building on a world that exists, or even a universe, a multiverse that exists at the MCU, right? You take something that exists, you've got to stick things in there that make sense to that world. I've been reading or listening to Brandon Sanderson's most recent book, Wind and Truth.
Ooh.
And it's great.
We will not be giving any spoilers. Don't worry.
It's epic.
It's
That's
amazing.
All I can say.
Wind and Truth. Go read it.
But if all of a sudden they stuck some random like Star Wars reference in there, it would feel out of place. It would feel wrong. And I feel like that.
What if he wrote it in a way of?
If he wrote it in
what if there was some weird
way? Sure.
What if there was some weird Kremlin character that was like, do or do not, no try, and like scurried off? You'd be like,
it'd feel weird.
It would,
but it's
okay. What if he said it in a different way?
If Sanderson could do it, but I'm saying like imagine they're on the Shattered Plains and all of a sudden a TIE fighter flies over and. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
That would feel out of place. It would feel wrong, and it would just maybe not even a TIE fighter, but like any spaceship, it would feel wrong. It would feel off because Stormlight Archive.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get.
Oh, I'm sure we will
soon. Well,
I'm
actually,
sure we will, but
I'm gonna not say nothing.
I don't know.
You all know.
Roshar is a very medieval style world. Like that's just kind of the way that he's set up the world. We've got swords, we've got knights, you know, the knight in shining armor, you've got all of that. And that's, you know, if we didn't stick to that, it'd feel weird. And that's how the MCU kind of feels right now, is we've built up all the way from Iron Man to where we were in 2019 with Endgame. We built that up over the course of 11 years. And they took the time and effort and gave us good stories that feel right, that feel good, that knit together, and they just fit like a very good puzzle, very nice puzzle. And then we're getting phase 4 and it's all side stories that don't fit in the puzzle at all.
You're doing too many side characters, which I was excited for some, but I just don't know.
I couldn't care less about Agatha. I couldn't care less about her story.
Unless you made her a bigger threat or made her an actual hero.
Sure.
But you didn't. You made her
yeah.
have her own. And if you love the show, that is wonderful for you. Mm-hmm. If you think it's great, that's amazing. And it does look like a fun story.
I don't feel like it fits in the world.
I don't feel like it fits Marvel.
And I feel like that's just kind of where we're at. Loki felt a little out of place because we took a character that we all know and love and we changed his whole MO and made him into something that he wasn't when we grew up. Growing up, he's always the god of tricks, you know, the god of illusions and stuff.
I like what they've done, though.
I do. I'm not saying it's bad. It just felt a little out of place, and I feel like we're getting more and more.
To be fair, that Loki is a different one than the one that died in Thanos' hand.
Yes.
So this one is gone through a lot.
Yes. So you're not wrong. I'm just saying. I don't know. It felt weird. And it's honestly, it's gotten bad enough that I'm not really too excited for these new Marvel movies coming out. Brave New World, I watched that first trailer, like I said earlier, I watched that first trailer once with you up here on your TV. And I haven't cared to look into it at all since.
I just need them to. If there is one scene I want, is I wish Bruce Banner was in this somehow. Mm-hmm. And I know that would be lame, or at least the only thing I want is I want Bruce to lose his composure when he learns. I need him when he learns what Ross has become. And I really hope they don't make it, we're going to infect him and we're going to make him learn his lesson. No, I want it to be a contingency plan for the present to be safe. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. But
Ross was kind of he was kind of a mentor to Bruce.
He
not
wanted
mentor,
like he
you know what I mean, like his daughter, his daughter and Bruce were in love.
Yeah.
And they knew each other. They'd been around each other. They'd worked with each other.
I just need him to be absolutely furious. I need the old Hulk to come back for a split second. Mm-hmm. I want Ross to be absolutely terrified. I want him to Hulk down and be Ross and be completely vulnerable. And you just see the green Hulk. And I just want things to change. Like he could be Professor Hulk and look all composed like he did in Endgame, but I need something to snap.
Something needs to push Bruce
and you
down.
Just see
we had in Endgame we had Hulk pushed down, or in like Infinity War we had Hulk hiding from Thanos. I think having Bruce hiding from,
or Hulk being so mad and he pushes Banner away. I just want that, and I really just want them to really implement a lot of nanotech into Sam's outfit, because he doesn't have the super serum. That was kind of the biggest deal with the show, and he had the opportunity. I just call him American. Crap. He's played by Kurt Russell's son. I can't think of his name at the moment.
Are you talking about
the second Captain America?
Yeah, the fake Captain America.
Yeah, I liked his character, and everyone hated him, but it's ironic because I'm like,
that's another reason. That's another thing I couldn't get into that show because
it was very intriguing to me. Yeah. I think you should try it again. Hear me out. Just try it again, because I think he was the best part of the show. His story, because he ends up taking the serum, and he actually kind of became a menace, and we'll see what happens to him. But I just hope that they really implement nanotech, because there's no way Sam is going to stop a Hulk fist, a punch from the Hulk, even with Cap shield.
I mean, technically he would, anybody could with Cap shield, because it's vibranium. It absorbs it,
but if you're getting pushed, right, you'd still
but
well, my camera did the thing again because I was pointing at Tim. Whatever, because you're still
no. That's side note. That's another thing I'm having issues with Phase 4 is, again, we built up phases 1 through 3 over 11 years, and now we're piggybacking instead of starting anew, and so we're getting things like Winter Soldier or Falcon and Winter Soldier, where Steve Rogers is gone. He's not Captain America anymore. It just stayed that way. I know in the comics there's 8 different Captain Americas because they all keep dying, but we need to let, if one of our favorite characters dies, we need to let them die. If they give up their mantle, if they are done with their story, we need to let them be done.
I don't know. I think that I don't know. I think that there's many Flashes, and there's a lot of, but there's only one Superman.
That's covered in, no, there's more than one Superman.
But you know what I mean.
That the Flash thing in the DCEU is covered. That's the multiverse.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well, but you also have Barry Allen, you have Wally West, but when I say Superman, who's the first alias you think of? Batman, Bruce Wayne, Spider-Man.
You said Superman.
Oh, sorry. Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Yes, Batman is Bruce Wayne, and then you can get Barb, or you can get Tim Drake, or any of them. Yeah,
but they all have their own names. You have Red Robin, you have Nightwing, you have Batgirl, Batwoman, you have Bat Signal.
Damien's kind of his own. Damien's Damien.
I feel like Damien would, but Terry in Batman Beyond became Batman, but that was years after. But I think that mantles are okay, but he did hand it to Sam, and I really think we should give Sam a chance. But the thing is, Marvel just has been sleeping on this for 5 years now. Mm-hmm. No, more, 6. Cap gave him that. No, it was 2019. 2019 is when, and it's gonna be 6 years this year, and it's now we're finally, and I just feel like it's all over the place. That's fine.
It's not, though.
It's not.
It's not fine. We've been waiting 6 years. This is Incredibles 2 all over again. We waited 14 years for that movie. They're getting a third one. Yeah.
They better be adults.
At least we're getting the third movie less than 14 years after.
I need a jump. I need a time skip. I'm telling y'all right now.
I agree. Even if it's 4 or 5 years.
No.
Something.
I need it to be Jack as a teenager, and he is struggling with his powers. That's what I've always wanted. Uh-huh. Yeah, we talked about this.
We did talk about this.
Get the council on the phone. I am done.
I would be okay with anything at this point. any amount of a time.
I want dark and gritty Incredibles again. We saw a body. We saw people die. We saw a lot in the first movie, and the second movie could have kept that, and it did get serious. But anyway,
it only got kind of serious.
The Frozone scene where he fights the team, that was one of my favorite scenes. Just sorry, I will go off on a rant because we're getting sequels, we're not getting originals. And I know it's ironic that I'm going to be bringing up a Spider-Man movie, but guess what? I've always wanted to write my own Spider-Man story. So eat it.
I'm sorry for this episode being so chaotic and ranty.
No,
but
it's fine.
I think it's time we had a rant.
This is why we have this. This is why I wanted to start this podcast, because I want new, fresh ideas. Because people say we don't have fresh ideas, but please, if you see this, just this segment right here, I'm going to make this a little short. Tell us your ideas. Just tell us a quick sentence idea of a story that you've had. Just think about something.
Single sentence
idea.
Inspiration for a story. If you really want, you can go into your favorite book, flip to a random page, and point at a sentence, and we'll try to do something with that.
All I'm just saying is
something.
People are creative. You guys have ideas. I have seen amazing short little stories online. I'm like, ideas aren't dead. They sound familiar.
Yes.
They sound similar, but
they're going to be similar, but that's just because it's human nature to create stories.
And we're old. We're not that old as a species, but stories have been with it. Again, I really thought about it the other day about the Odyssey. The Odyssey is older than the King James Bible. It is older than the New Testament, and therefore it is. It's just crazy how old that is. It's older than many. We can't even comprehend. It's older than many countries on this planet, and yet,
even then, like, you have the Old Testament, and that covers thousands of years before the Odyssey.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, it's just crazy. Like,
we've got stories from the beginning of time.
Yeah. Take that what you will. We're just saying, like, for this part, we're treating the Bible like a story. Those stories are really old, passed down forever and ever. So
by word of mouth or by writ, we've had stories as long as the human race has existed.
So there's no way that we are hitting a point where we're getting lame. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what movie I'm really excited for? Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson. I think
no idea what you have.
It's fine, but all it is it's about humans going up in space, and Mickey and this guy signs up to be I forgot the word they use, like an extra, just a person that can die. And what they'll do, they download their brain, and he dies. They throw their body into a furnace, and they print out a new one. And so he just keeps living. And so the idea of it is,
this is number 17.
Something. But all it is there's two of them, and if there's double people, then they all have to get exterminated, and it's like an uprising video kind of thing. And Mark Hamill's the main villain, and Mark Ruffalo. So
Mark Ruffalo's still good.
Yeah, I like Mark Ruffalo. I think he's good. So, but it that's that one movie that looked interesting. It's the guy who directed The Parasite, and I never watched that because it looked very mentally disturbing. So I think this one also might be. So we'll see. I just don't think we're done with storytelling.
No, we'll never be done with storytelling. So for as long as the human race exists, stories will continue. And they'll be new because new inventions, new ideas will always come along, and we'll build on those. We'll visit old ones every now and again. We'll come up with new stuff. As long as the human race exists, stories will exist.
So bring it all in. I want to ask, what would you hope to see in these two movies? One movie is about Captain America and the Red Hulk, and the next one is about basically the Marvel Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. What are you hoping that hopefully can help steer Marvel in a better direction? What is something you're hoping for, or at least what would you like to see of a character that you really like?
Honestly, I don't know. I want to see. I want to see Sam Wilson be Captain America and feel like Captain America. I don't want him to feel like some cheap knockoff like we got in the show with what's his butt. I also would like to see Bucky kind of step in and maybe and here's what I can imagine them doing is Sam gets injured or whether physically or mentally and emotionally, and he just kind of has to step away, and then Bucky Barnes can step in.
Because Bucky was Captain America for a brief bit.
Bucky and Sam Wilson were both Captain America for a while, and honestly, seeing them both be Captain America would be good, and I need them to feel like Captain America when Steve Rogers was Captain America.
I really hope that. So in Thunderbolts, they hinted at, so they gave the fake Cap his own vibranium shield. Mm-hmm. He has his own. It's an authentic one. It looks a little different. I need a scene because they're probably not going to have Bucky interact with Sam at all, but I wish they did. I wish they had them interact in some short way in the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts, at least, I wish they were the bodyguards at first, or they were protecting General Ross, and then they branch off during the movie, and that's their movie. Like, that would have been great. Also, if they are really going to fight on the island of the monster that came out in Eternals, apparently that's going to be adamantium. I would really like, whether it be Thunderbolts or Captain America, I need one of the mid-credit scenes to show someone they're experimenting on, and all we see is a tube, and we see this person is hanging there like Anakin in the whatever tube those are called, the Bacta tank. I need to see the hand jiggle, and I need bone claws to come out. Mm-hmm. I need them to start hinting that the X-Men are coming. I need them to start hinting that bigger things are coming. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be Hugh Jackman. I don't want it to be Hugh Jackman in this variation, because he's probably going to come back after Deadpool and Wolverine. But it would be really cool. I think he's
getting a show.
We will see. I have no idea, but I just need them to start tying stuff together, really focusing on finding a common enemy to fight. And I know that we now have a new Doctor Doom, which is Robert Downey Jr.
I'm okay. Here's my take on that. The Doctor Doom being RDJ. Iron Man died in our universe. From what I know, this version of Tony Stark is from a different universe. This is not our same.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's gonna be.
But it is.
I think it's gonna be just. It's gonna be a Tony Stark as Doom. So everyone's kind of upset that it's not Victor. I hope it's not Victor. I do hope it's.
I hope it's Tony Stark. That's what I
want it to be a Tony Stark that made a suit of armor around the world. I basically want just a human Ultron. That's what I want.
Or even a Tony Stark who decided that being the guy with the bigger stick is the important thing.
Yep. And I'm okay if this one dies to the actual Doctor Doom. Like, that's what I would like. I would like to see him go toe to toe with the real Doctor Doom. I need it to be, and I want it to be Cillian Murphy. Ooh. Or if you guys,
Murphy would be a really good Doctor Doom.
If you guys can think of someone else, I know many people would want a Romani actor, so I don't know that many, and I'm not going to try to list names, but in my head, I've always pictured Cillian Murphy. Also, here's a fun thing for you. Apparently, in the rumor mill, I'll have to double check, but Chris Evans might be coming back, and I hope he becomes the Hydra agent. So I think that'll be cool. If we could get all 6 of the original Avengers to be like a crime syndicate in another world, So we could see Scarlett Johansson again. We can see Hawkeye at his worst, just like the Hawkeye that lost his family but became as the Ronin. I want to see a gray Hulk. Not green, it's still Bruce Banner, but I want to see a gray Hulk.
The embodiment of death.
And then I just need to see, basically, honestly, I think I'd rather have it be Ares and not Thor. And yes, Ares does exist in Marvel because everything does. Or
Santa Claus exists.
Or just a shunned Thor. Like, could you just imagine the original 6?
I could see a Thor who ended up accidentally killing Odin on Jotunheim, or maybe Laufey killed Odin, and Thor, being next in line, took the throne, and
a Thor that lost it.
Yeah, Thor that lost it went insane with power.
But what if he lost?
Became Hela.
Ooh. But what if he doesn't? What if he can't lift? I really hated that Hela could lift Mjolnir. Or no, I never thought she never held it. She destroyed it. People are always like, oh.
I mean, she stopped it. She also was the original wielder.
I just think
it could be that she was in her own twisted way. She was worthy of Mjolnir.
I've always seen it that she just stopped it and she's just kind of like fighting it because it was trying to hit her, because it never looks like, because she never held Mjolnir, because you know when like Quicksilver grabs it and immediately falls. I don't know. In my head, she destroyed it. She caught it, and I love how she was like. Anyway, that's another thing. But yeah,
here's what I could see. I could see a Thor who takes on the mantle of the god of death.
Oh.
And so he wears the crown and wields those swords.
I don't know.
And it's black lightning instead of his traditional blue. That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
I don't know, something.
But just a
like
twist
that.
on all of them. A twist on all of them, so that it would be cool to see all of them just looking down.
Yeah.
Or maybe all the characters who haven't moved on, because really the only one that's left is Thor and Hawkeye. So maybe it wouldn't be them, because they're the last two. So maybe it would be 2 other people. But at least those 4, I would really like to see.
Hawkeye got his show.
Yeah.
That's another one that I got through half of it. I just couldn't. I couldn't. My only stipulation for doing any of this is it has to be movies. No more TV shows. Marvel, if you're listening, stop doing the TV shows. I'm sick of them.
What if it's because I liked Moon Knight. I really love Moon Knight.
That's its own separate thing.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with something like that.
I'm honestly okay if they said, okay, you know what, Blade's not going to be part of the MCU. He's going to have his own show, because I would love a 6-episode horror. Like, I'm talking, I don't like, if it's TVMA, I wouldn't care. But just, we get kind of scary, kind of terrifying.
Something like that, where it is separate completely from the MCU, from all the other stories that we're getting. I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I know it's redundant. I am so sick of these TV shows being required to understand what's going on.
Because that's not what they wanted originally.
No, and they said that it wasn't.
Yeah, and
that's not how it was supposed to be. And then they lied, and it's 100% how it's supposed to be. You have to watch WandaVision to understand everything building up to Doctor Strange. You have to watch Loki to understand what happened to him. You've got to that one's a little less, that one ties in a little less to everything else.
Yeah.
But I can't deal with the mainstream TV shows. It's got to be a movie that, if Phase 4 is going to be successful, they've got to do movies. They've got to stop with TV shows.
Well, that's what we're getting with these 3, where I don't think we have any shows. I think a lot of the shows got canceled.
We have a couple. I know there's a Spider-Man, an animated Spider-Man
yeah.
show.
And that's also its own. That's not connected. That's its own separate thing. So I'm okay with that. I think it looks cool.
Ironheart.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a TV show.
I think that got no, it didn't get canceled.
Eyes of Wakanda. Is that going to be a movie?
I think that is the new movie.
It's a series. No, it's a series. That one's an animated series.
That sounds a little interesting though.
That one seems okay. There's the Marvel Zombies. That's another animated show.
See, when it's
Wonder
animated
Man,
show like that,
and the animated shows are okay.
I liked What If.
What If's kind of. What If is okay. Like that is a show that I'm okay watching because it's not.
I stopped. I got halfway through season 3 and I died. But yeah,
I've only been watching season 1. I'm at the zombies episode.
Ooh.
Or I just passed the zombies episode.
Ooh.
So I think the episode I'm on is where Killmonger works for Iron Man, works for Tony Stark. But
no, I don't know. I think movies would be the best way to go, but we're not in charge and it's fine. But I really wish they'd sit down and and we'll see.
I don't know.
Because like Ant-Man, and before anyone is like, well, you guys don't hate it because of this, and it's like, no, I just hate it because I just didn't find him. I didn't, honestly. I was surprised that I did enjoy the Marvels more than Ant-Man. Oh my gosh, I hated Ant-Man. I was Marvels, so disappointed.
I had a lot of issues with Marvels, as we talked about.
I'll be honest, I could have got.
I had more issues with Ant-Man.
I would have rather have seen the Marvels in theaters. I feel bad for not going to see it. I would have gone and seen that in theaters. I think it was
the way. I think the way that we talked about it, the things that we talked about. That's as far as we needed to go, I think.
Yeah, but Ant-Man, that was to me the Babylon AD so far. It was bad.
Gross.
It was bad. We went from the second one, which was a lot of fun, and then it was like, okay, that just happened.
Yeah.
And Shang-Chi is off and who knows where.
Shang-Chi
Ironheart is getting a show before Shang-Chi, and he was there with us during COVID.
Yeah, Shang-Chi is one that we're getting that's getting slept on. That was a good movie.
Like, and they hinted at him and Wong working together, and it was like, okay, because Wong is the new...
The 10 rings being the new kind of Infinity Stones, like...
Or, like, sending a signal out to something. Sending a signal out. To other dimensions.
Right, it was sending out a signal to King the Conqueror.
Yeah.
So that whole storyline with all of that
King drama, is gone.
I know, I get that it... I get it. But I mean, just recast him.
Yeah.
Recast him and bring him in, and then bring it in and keep going with the way that you were going. Because King the Conqueror is honestly more terrifying than Thanos. He always has been.
Oh yeah, no, and it was really annoying that he got beat by Ant-Man. I was really thinking we were going to see someone die. The trailer,
I was
really deceived us.
I was really hoping someone was going to die, and no one did. It somewhat the same with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Part of me is disappointed nobody died in Guardians 3. I expected it. But I was expecting.
But they all went their own way, and yes. I don't know if they'll be helping much. Peter got to be with his. I'm glad. I'm honestly glad they all got their ending.
No, I agree, and I think it should stay that way. I don't think we should see the Guardians of the Galaxy again until maybe if King the Conqueror comes back. Maybe I don't think he's ever something happening, but
like because we in our episode we just had King be like it's kind of like it was like Sauron almost, like you did not, if they would have tried to it's just this overwhelming threat that you're like we need to get out of here before it happens.
In a lot of media where you've got a big enemy that is going to destroy everything, 9 times out of 10, if it's decent or better, it is the main characters
Oh.
do not interact with that character whatsoever, unless it's that character is gloating and making fun of you.
Yeah.
You are dealing with the underlings the entire time, and
Yeah.
that's Lord of the Rings, right? You never fight Sauron. Frodo never comes face to face with Sauron himself. It's always his underlings.
The closest thing we get twice is the Balrog, and in power is the Balrog,
and the Witch Queen.
Yeah, Witch King.
Witch King. Sorry, Witch Queen is
Narnia. No,
Witch Queen is Destiny. Destiny is another good example. Again, you're gonna roll your eyes, but Destiny is a good example. For those of you who played, the Witness is the big bad. He is our Thanos. We have been, for the last 10 years, up until this most recent expansion that came out this last summer, for 10 years, we've been fighting the Witness's disciples, his forces, for 10 years. Kind of the same thing with Thanos. Like, we started... again, with Destiny, we started with trying to think of timelines, but real, like, I guess to put it simply, there's Callus, there's Rolk, there's Nezarek, and that they're all the disciples of the Witness. We don't fight the Witness until the very end, and it's been 10 years. And it takes time, and we're building up to it, and that's the way that these stories should be. Like, we don't even face off the Witness without the help of our own divine being at our back. Thanos is another good example, right? We didn't come face to face with Thanos. He was mentioned all the way back.
Oh my gosh.
He was mentioned all the way back in Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Like, we saw his face.
Yeah.
Briefly.
But I'm just saying that when we finally, like, I was like, we better feel weak and helpless. This man didn't use any Infinity Stones, and he beat Hulk.
He beat the Hulk. He beat our entire team.
They had to come back to him.
Putting it in terms of D&D, right? We started at level 1 with Cap and Iron Man and Thor. We started at level 1 where they're just beginning with everything they've got. We work our way up. Every 5 levels or so, we get one of the big Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Right. Avengers 1 is level 5. Ultron is level 10. Infinity War, the build up to Infinity War is maybe level 15 to 17. We lose. We lost.
And I say we because you all didn't feel like that in the theater. I went opening night. I was in the front. I heard a whole theater sob. I heard, like, it felt leaving. I have never heard people leave a theater that quiet with that many people.
I have heard that night I heard the most whats I've ever heard in a movie theater ever.
I was so, and then to make us wait a year and then to do a time jump of 5 years and really hit us and go, oh. Ouch. And it hurt. It hurt, and they did not do a good job. And then the blip was just gone.
That was the time jump that brought us from that level 17 to level 20.
Yeah, but we felt that as an audience.
Yes,
I was not the same person a year before.
Exactly.
And we're just going. It just.
And it's something that I feel like
Marvel can do that again.
They can. Oh, easily.
And I hope. And honestly,
King Conqueror again.
Oof. It's probably not going to be Kang.
I could see it being Kang another 2 phases out, as opposed to this next one.
It would be nice it would be really cool. I don't know. I think that because
then we'd have a payoff. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on King the Conqueror because he was built up to be. Like, he was hyped up to be such a crazy, scary guy.
Well, okay, the scene of him looking at Ant-Man and going, Did I kill you before? Like, I just was like, oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh, he's so ancient. He like I would have hoped to have scenes of him with Thanos at his feet, with all the like dead, like all these villains, like nothing compared. It just oof. But I am hoping that 2025, 5 years after, it's been a good 5 years. Let's really try to see some change. And I not to kind of switch the topic at the very end, we've talked about Marvel, but I'm really hoping the same with DC. Jason Momoa just got cast as Lobo. I am so excited because that fits him
Way better.
Way better.
Yep.
Not saying he wasn't a bad Aquaman, but they just did his Aquaman wrong.
He was, with what he was given, he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll kill it as well.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait, because that role was
I've never been a big fan of the DCU, just because, obviously Superman, I grew up with Superman and Batman.
Have you seen that trailer of the new Superman movie?
Superman with Crypto? Yeah.
Okay. I teared up a little
excited.
bit. My friend who doesn't like movies texted me. He does not like superhero movies. He never he went with me to see these premieres, but he texted me, he goes, "Hey, that Superman trailer, are we going?" And I was like, yes. Oh, okay. and then my other friend texted us in a group chat, "Have you guys seen the Superman trailer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can we go to that?" And I was like, because we all watched the animated series, and it might look childish and whimsical, but
I remember watching the really old show,
from the 40s.
Yeah. The one with the scientist. The mad scientist.
And he punches the ray. Yep. That is one of the coolest. It's a very simple, but it's cool.
85 years old.
85. 15 years.
80 or more years old.
It's insane that is. Yeah. That there are very few people that can remember that show.
Disney began over 100 years ago.
It did. Snow White is going to Snow White will turn 100 in less than a decade. So
a lot of them will turn 100.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm stepping off my soapbox.
This was definitely, I will call this the soapbox episode, because
it was the rant and soapbox episode.
We've had a few rants, but we haven't, we've done a really good job these past episodes, especially now that we've been video recording. We haven't gone on a lot of tangents. I felt like we've done good. I've been trying to edit them. So this was a soapbox tangent episode, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Same.
And it was good.
Yeah. Last thing.
Okay.
I just want movies to feel exciting again.
I want to go to theaters again.
I want the movie theater to feel like it used to. We're going and getting your bucket of popcorn, sitting and watching the
they need to lower the prices.
The ads, watching we need to get movies in the theaters.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Good movies that aren't just a bunch of BS that someone threw together in their bedroom.
I'll pay $40 for a good movie. I'll be honest. I paid $40 for some movies, and it was worth it. For opening night, I appreciated some of them.
Sabrina and I have, for Christmas, we got a date night movie package.
Awesome.
So we've got tickets that we can or vouchers that we can redeem for any movie that we want to see, and we can get the luxury seats, we get our popcorn, we can get our drinks and other snacks and stuff, and then we can go watch our movie. And I'm just waiting for a good movie. Like War of the Rohirrim, the Lord of the Rings one. I haven't seen it yet. I've been wanting to. Sabrina's been really, really busy, and it's expensive to go to the theater.
Yeah.
But other than that, there haven't been many movies that I have been excited for. Moana 2. Like it's cool that we got a second one and that a lot of people enjoy it, but Moana was cool. It wasn't my favorite Disney movie.
It was so cute though. I think it definitely caught. Oh my goodness, it is definitely going to be somewhat like just a generation's favorite. So
yeah, no, I agree. It's same with Frozen. I think it's going to be a generation's favorite.
We're getting a third Frozen.
Yeah,
I need a second Tangled at least. Like, come on, like
Tangled. I think I've said this before. Tangled is my favorite Disney princess movie.
It's a good one.
It is.
It's a good one.
It is the best.
I just really hope. You know what? This is a random thing. I looked at your phone case, and I need them just to make that animated and not whatever they're doing.
They're not gonna.
They could totally have had Studio Ghibli help with that and make it amazing, but no.
Yeah, it's a Legend of Zelda phone case. For those of you who didn't know,
show it to them. They can see it.
Oh, yeah.
We can show stuff.
It's fancy.
That's just zooming in on
cool.
your face. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we are. Are we satisfied with our care?
I'm satisfied.
That was a lot of. Yeah. That was it. That was it. That was a rant. That was
a rant.
That was some tea time.
I'm ready to be done ranting.
All right. Well, I think next week I will have a goal to get movie 3, and I think the working title I got is simply either "We Are Venom" or something along the lines of symbiotic. Just something with it. Mm-hmm. So, or to be lame, 3, it's a magic number. So, or 3 is a crowd. Something with 3 to be funny, because that's what they were doing with the other one. But yeah. But any final thoughts, Tim?
No, just my regular, you know. Hey, if you enjoyed it, please reach out. Tell us that you enjoyed it. Email us, text us, whatever.
If you watch this, please add whether you disagree or you liked it. I don't care. Just let us know.
We want to know your comments.
We want to know your guys' thoughts.
Comments, your beliefs, your ideas.
This is a place to tell stories, and we want to hear your guys's because as 2 storytellers, we're sick of what we're seeing. So that's why I started this.
Other than that, just be kind, love each other. Try to leave the world a little bit better than you found it.
Absolutely. And I just really hope that this year will be a good year for Marvel, and I hope for the best, and we'll just see where our heroes take us this year. And until next time, we'll see you later, pitches. Bye.
Goodbye.